Good morning. So, we have started this discussion on the essentials of valid contract. Okay. So, here, what is the first essential? There should be proper offer and there should be proper acceptance with the intention to create a legal relationship. With the intention to create a legal relationship. Proper offer, proper acceptance, legal relationship. Next is lawful consideration, capacity, free consent, lawful object, possibility of performance. The terms of the agreement are certain or capable of being made certain, are certain and capable of being made certain, and not declared as void and necessary legal formalities. These are the 9 points, very important. Okay. Here we can tell essentials of a valid contract. We will see one by one. Essentials of valid contract. Offer plus acceptance, we call them as a promise. Promise plus consideration, we call it as an agreement. Agreement plus enforceability by law, we call it as a contract. Okay, this we have seen that one. Offer, acceptance, promise, consideration, enforceability by law. So if all the things are there, then we call it as a contract. Okay. Okay, now we will discuss this first point. What is that? Proper offer and proper acceptance with the intention to create a legal relationship. Okay, see now, day to day life also we have some social relationship. Okay, social agreements. Okay, there may be some commercial agreement. Okay, commercial agreement we can tell either you go to a hotel, you have a breakfast, and in turn you are going to pay. In turn you are going to pay the hotel owner some amount. This is a commercial agreement. This is a commercial agreement. Whether this can be tested, whether this can be tested under the action of law, yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. So that time we call it as a contract. It's called as a contract. At the day-to-day life, it is agreement. It is agreement. When we are going to test that one under the legal formality, then it is called as contract. So we can tell that here, before entering into this contract, already we both people had intention to create legal relation. So I'll explain once again. Before entering into the hotel itself or before having the breakfast itself, both owner and we had an intention to create a legal relation. Means what? I will have a breakfast, in turn I am going to pay the money. So this is one type of legal relation. Legal relation. Another example, bus ticket. Okay, you are going to travel from one place to another place, so in turn you are going to give some amount for the ticket, whatever you have taken. So you had a intention to create legal relationship. Another example I will give. Suppose you and your friend wants to go to a movie on Sunday. Okay, now that is an agreement. No, both of you have agreed to go to movie on a Sunday. Some For some reason your friend does not come on that day. Okay, does not come on that day. But whether it is possible to test that consideration or test that agreement in court, not at all possible, because it is a domestic agreement, or you can tell it as a social agreement. It is a social agreement. Generally, domestic or this social type of agreement does not have an intention, does not have an intention to create legal relationship. So that is why these things are not called as contracts. They generally called as agreement. That's all. Agreement, offer, promise. Okay, so generally these things are only limited to this. But when you have a legal intention such as commercial agreement, law will consider that those are contracts, because you already had an intention to create a legal relationship. Okay, so that is why these things are called as proper offer and proper acceptance. Now you understand these terms. So whatever commercial agreements which are going to create a legal relationship or intention of creating a legal generally are called as proper offer or proper acceptance. So these things generally comes under commercial agreement, okay. So proper offer and proper acceptance, I hope it is clear now. So offer should be and acceptance should be, both should be clear here, okay, proper, in a proper way, okay. So generally, so that is why it is written here, an agreement of purely domestic or social nature, an agreement of purely domestic or social nature is not a contract, is generally considered as a not a contract, is considered not a contract, okay. Here, lawful consideration, second point, whatever the agreements you are having between two persons, that should be lawful. That should be lawful means it should not contain any, unlawful, immoral, or it should not oppose the public policy. It should not oppose the public policy. Suppose you are going to damage a water supply line by constructing something, so that construction agreement is okay between you two, but it is damaging to the public, no, damaging to the public policy. So all those things are these unlawful, immoral, opposed. If these are present, then it is not called as a valid contract. If these are present, then it's called as a valid contract. It may be voidable or it may be void itself, void or voidable, both way it is possible, okay. So it should contain lawful consideration, it should contain lawful consideration. Here the next consideration, next valid point is capacity. In general, you can understand that the person to whom that offer is being made, he should be capable, or he should have the qualities to do that one. He should have the qualities to do that one, or qualification to do that one, okay. So you cannot simply tell some uneducated person to perform some educated work, so that time B has a capacity, no, that is the meaning here, okay. So here they are telling that the parties to to a contract must have capacity, means what, B should have capacity or legal ability to make this valid contract, okay. I hope the capacity word is clear now. He should have the qualification, capability, or he must have some knowledge of that one, then only B can be made offer, B can be given a offer, okay. So here Indian Contract Act specifies that every person is competent when he has attained the age of majority, that is the first point. Second point is who is of sound mind, means what, his brain functioning is very very correct. Now he is of sound mind means he can think correctly. Third is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject, means what, you cannot give a contract now to Vijay Mallya. Why? So Vijay Mallya is a qualified person or disqualified person, you cannot give a contract for now. Why? He is disqualified from the law of India now, from the law of India. In that way you understand the meaning. First thing, he should be major and he should be sound mind, okay. He should not be disqualified. So if these qualities are there, then you can call it as a, he has the capacity to perform that contract, Sometimes if a unsound mind person, okay, in a 24 hours he will be 10 hours he will be mental, that is unsound. Remaining hours he is of good, that is what, during his lucid interval, means what, for 6 to 8 hours he will be okay, So that person, if he comes in contract at this time, then also we can tell that he is a capacity person. Then you can also call them as a capacity person, okay. Unsound mind, in the 24 hours he is not going to function properly for 10 hours. In the remaining some of the hours he is okay, so that time he enters the contract, then also it is possible, no, it is possible. Okay. uh, Alien enemy, foreign sovereigns, accredited representative from foreign state, insolvents, convicts are not competent. Are not competent. So here Vijay Malla and all, they can come under this category. Convicts or insolvents. Okay, like that. Very important, free consent. Free consent means free will to do, means what? No forcing, no pressurizing. Okay. If you are not going to do this contract, if you are not going to do this contract, so A is telling to B, A is telling to B, sign this contract, otherwise I will damage your house, otherwise I will damage your property. So that is not a free consent, no. So B is signing that one, but under the influence of influence of threat from A. So he is not signing under free consent. So consent of the parties must be genuine consent. Must be genuine consent means agreed upon, same thing in the same sense. Same thing in the same sense. You are going to do this work, I am going to pay this work. I am going to pay this money. There should be conscious ad idem. Conscious ad idem means what? Whenever he is signing, he should sign without any hindrance, without any what is that? Threatening or something like that. Consciously, he should sign. A consent is said to be free. A consent is said to be free when it is not caused by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, or mistake. So if it is not done by this coercion, undue influence, okay, fraud, misrepresentation, then it is called as a free consent. It's called as free consent. Okay. Here the next point, it is telling that it should be a lawful object contract. So object of the agreement should be lawful and legal. Okay. Two persons cannot enter into an agreement to, for what reason? To do a criminal act. Okay. So that time it is not a contract. Okay. Consideration or object of an agreement is unlawful. When you can tell it as unlawful? When it is a forbidden by law. Smuggling of goods is not permitted. So that time that is not a lawful object. Example. Is such of nature that if permitted would defeat the provisions of any law. Would defeat the provisions of any law. So A is telling to B that do this work using the child labor. Using the child labor. Whether that is permitted? No. There is a Indian in the Indian this one country we have other laws which is protecting the child from doing labor work, protecting the child from doing the labor work. So what will happen if this is allowed, this contract is allowed, that is using this child only you can perform the work, then it will defeat the provisions of other law. It will defeat this law. It will defeat this law. So that time also we call them as a unlawful. It is called as unlawful. If it is a fraudulent, okay, that is also possible. Involves or implies injury to person or property. Means if he performs this function, it is going to damage some person or it is going to damage the property. So that is also not allowed. Court regards it as a immoral or opposed to public policy. Opposed to public policy. If it is telling that court it is a immoral, you should not do, or it is against the public policy, then the law it is a unlawful. It is a unlawful. Here what are the points? If it is forbidden, if it is defeating the other law, if it is a fraud, involves damage to the property or persons, and from court itself is telling it is a immoral. So if all these things are not there, if it is not there, then it is called as lawful. Then it is called as lawful. Possibility of performance. What is that possibility? You cannot tell A to B construct that building within 1 day. Within 1 day. That is called as a possibility of performance. Minimum construction time is at least 6 months. So in that way you should understand that possibility of performance should be there. The terms of agreements should be capable of performance. It should be capable construction, making repair work, whatever. It should be given sufficient time, or it should be able to do that one. An agreement to do act impossible in itself cannot be enforced. Means what? If that work is itself impossible, you cannot enter into a contract, or you cannot put the into enforcement. Okay, example: A agrees to B to discover treasure by magic. Treasure by magic means what? If A and B are there, he is telling that you find that treasury by using the magic of E. So here agreement itself is void, because the act itself is impossible. Itself is impossible to perform. Okay, to perform. It is not at all possible, no? So that is why this possibility of performance is also present in a valid condition or essential condition. Okay. The terms of agreements are certain and are capable of being made certain. Means what? Clear cut definement, clear cut telling. You perform 60 cubic meter of concrete, I will pay 10,000. So these should be clear. That is why we have written certain. Or capable of being made certain means what? Next also it can be made certain means what? I will pay according to current rates. I will pay according to current rates, like that. Okay, so here A is agreed to pay 5 lakh to B for ultra modern decoration. Here ultra modern decoration, whether it is a certain word or uncertain word. Okay, what is the definement? So here it is not at all possible. So here the agreement is void. Why? Here the term ultra modern is not certain, is not certain. So that is why we are telling that agreement, the terms should be certain. That's all. Okay. Not declared advice. General, no, simple, no. Whatever the agreements you have, they should not be declared as void. They should not be declared as void. Then we call them as a valid contract. Okay. The agreement should be such that it should be capable of being capable or being enforced by law. Means what? It should be a valid contract. Then only we call them not a void contract. Certain agreements have been expressly declared illegal or void by the law. You cannot enter into a contract which is already declared as void. Already declared as void. Okay. Here it should contain necessary legal formality. Here a contract may be oral or writing. Both way it is possible. No, that hotel example or bus ticket example, it is an oral agreement or oral contract. Writing agreement means what? When you enter some construction work, something like that. It is in writing. Where a particular type of contract is required by law to be in writing and registered, it must comply with the necessary formalities. Necessary formality. Generally, what type of formalities will come when you enter into a contract of civil engineering nature? That is why we are discussing legal formality. Legal formality means what? Oral contract cannot be a legal, cannot be a what is that? Tested under the law in a full-fledged. Okay, full-fledged. When you given that one in writing, no, that time it will create a legal intention. Okay, legal intention, like that you should understand. Here legal formality, what are the necessary here? If it has to be a perfect one, it should be written in writing, it should be registered, or it should be get attested. It should be get attested. So these points will make as legal formality, will make them as a legal formality. I hope it is clear. Necessary legal formalities should be there, such as writing of that contract, registration of that contract, attestation of that contract. Then we can call it them as a valid contract. Then we can call it as a valid contract. It does not mean that oral contracts are not valid. They are also valid, but when the enforcement will come, then the proof of burden is there. Proof of burden means whether have you taken the breakfast, whether you have proof. Okay, like that they will going to come. If legal formalities are not carried out, then contract is not enforceable by law. when you go to the court, they will tell where is the agreement, where is the document. No, sir, we have discussed that one. No, that is not going to possible.